What can you say about like the balance of the storylines in what you guys have written and shot so far? Is it like 50% cases and like 25% Rush's demons and 25 et cetera, or what can you say about that?
Well, I don't want to commit to a math.
That's fine.
Because you'll write back to me and say, I was promised 72%. But I will say this. Every episode is going to deliver 2, 3, sometimes even 4 closed-ended medical dilemmas that Rush is going to work through. But along with that, we're going to track week to week in a way that's sort of a little new for USA, a more serialized story, not just about Rush, but about Eve, about May, about Alex, about all the characters, and sort of draw the audience forward week to week with the expectation that serialized storytelling can create, but also, if it's a new watcher tonight, they're going to get good, weird, in-your-face, provocative medical stories that they can just enjoy on that night. But my hope is that they'll come back next week to find out what happens to Rush.
So what have been the challenges dealing with a character that has so many, I guess, not so much negative even, but a lot of very challenging qualities about him?
Well, as I said before, Tom is an immensely charming actor. And as any of us know who have enjoyed and suffered people in our lives who are difficult but irreplaceable, you know, I think Rush is going to come off that way. You know that he's making mistakes sometimes. You might wish a different lifestyle for him at any given moment, but he's so unique and so charming and also so good at what he does that you sort of wouldn't want him any other way. And I think that's definitely the hope of the show. And as storytellers, as the writing staff and the producers, I mean, we definitely, the moment we dove in, while very aware of the challenges of this character, who, you know, to again use that word provocative, a little more provocative than maybe the standard USA hero, we immediately cottoned to his complexity, and it very rapidly became like a good home base, and so it may be challenging, but I think it's hopefully just entertaining.
Can you talk about some of the unusual medical ailments he'll be dealing with this season, and where you pulled from? Where did you find them? Some of the weird ones.
Well, you know, like any medical show, you know, we have a staff of consultants and writing assistants who are always combing the news and stuff for interesting stories. And we always have the medical consultants reminding us what can and cannot happen. Yesterday on the set, we had quite a Donnybrook about a pool cue that had gone entirely through a person, and whether it was good medicine or not to remove the pool cue. And we finally settled on Rush sort of saying, no, we can't do that. It's not good. You have to go to a hospital. And then the kid with the pool cue in him says, I'll take it out myself. And as he starts to pull it out, Rush has to stop. And then he figures out a way to do it safely and wrap the kid up and get him to a hospital. So like that's the one fresh in my mind. We also have like I'm working on an episode right now that involves an injury that a gentleman endures an injury to his heart that's endured during electroshock in a dominatrix's dungeon, which Rush has to come in and get the guy's pacemaker working again to stop his heart from the arrhythmia in his heart. Trying to think of some other really good ones.
Is there like a litmus test for this is embarrassing enough that like it has to be embarrassing enough that I wouldn't want to go to the emergency room or my primary care physician?
Yeah, it's not always an issue of embarrassment. Sometimes it's an issue of legal things. In episode 3, a person endures a bite, which turns out to be from a very exotic and unlicensed animal that they're keeping in the house with a bunch of other animals, actually. There was a great episode to shoot with bears roaming around the set and a monitor lizard, like a 7-foot-long monitor lizard. So people have all kinds of reasons for calling Rush. And then there's other people that simply are the elite that he serves who would just rather have the doctor come to them, and they don't need secrecy or legal issues to justify it. They just have it their way.